The void between stars held no warmth as the UES horizon cut through space, its sensors probing the darkness for signs of life. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the bridge's observation window, watching distant stars drift by like fireflies in the night. 20 years of deep space exploration had taught her patience, but something about this sector felt different. "Captain, we're picking up unusual energy signatures from the Kepler-247 system," Lieutenant Marcus Wong called from his station. His dark eyes remained fixed on the shifting patterns of data across his holographic display. "It's like nothing in our database." Sarah moved to his station, studying the readings. After decades of finding nothing but empty worlds and ancient ruins, humanity had grown used to being alone in the galaxy. But these readings suggested otherwise. "Show me the spectrum analysis." The energy patterns pulsing across the screen were too regular, too precise to be natural. "Plot an intercept course," she ordered, "but maintain our passive scanning profile. Let's not announce ourselves too loudly." As the horizon altered course, Sarah felt the familiar mix of excitement and apprehension that came with potential first contact. Her crew of 300 was officially here to map resources for the growing human confederation, but everyone knew their real mission: find evidence of intelligent life. The ship's AI, Araya, highlighted a new set of readings. "Captain, I'm detecting artificial structures in orbit around the system's fourth planet. Construction patterns suggest advanced technological capabilities." Sarah nodded, her heart racing despite her calm exterior. "All stations, initiate first contact protocols. Communications, prepare the standard greeting package. Let's introduce ourselves properly." The next few hours were a blur of activity as the horizon approached the alien system. The structures resolved into massive orbital platforms, their architecture unlike anything humans had conceived. Several smaller vessels moved between them with precise efficiency. "They're beautiful," Sarah whispered, watching the alien ships navigate with incredible grace. Their hulls seemed to flow like liquid metal, adjusting their shape for optimal movement. "Dr. Evans, what can you tell me about their technology level?" The ship's chief scientist adjusted his glasses, poring over the sensor data. "They're at least a century ahead of us in some areas, particularly materials science. Those ships appear to use some form of programmable matter for their hulls." "What?" He paused, frowning. "Their power signatures are oddly inefficient, almost as if they're not fully utilizing their own technology." Before Sarah could respond, Araya's voice took on an urgent tone. "Captain, detecting rapid power buildup in the alien vessels. They're altering course to intercept." "Open all frequencies," Sarah ordered. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the UES Horizon. We come in peace as representatives of humanity and thee." The first shot cut through space like a blade of light, missing the horizon's bow by meters. The ship shuddered from the near miss, alarms blaring across every deck. "Return fire," Sarah commanded, even as she knew their weapons would likely be useless against the advanced alien vessels. "Tactical analysis of their attack pattern." The horizon's defensive systems engage, but their best shots seemed to ripple across the alien ship's hulls without effect. Meanwhile, each enemy attack came closer to finding its mark. "Hull breach on Deck 7, Lieutenant Wong reported. "Emergency containment fields holding, but our shields can't take much more of this." Sarah watched as another alien beam sliced through their starboard armor like it was paper. But in that moment of destruction, something extraordinary happened. A section of the alien vessel's hull had separated during the attack, becoming lodged in the horizon's damaged section. "Engineering reports critical systems failing," Wong called out. "We can't sustain this fight, Captain." Sarah made her decision. "Plot an emergency jump to the nearest Confederate outpost, and make sure we preserve that section of alien hull. Something tells me it's going to be very important." As the horizon prepared to jump, Sarah noticed something odd about the alien attacks. They were precise, yes, but predictable. Almost programmed, like they were following combat protocols without true tactical adaptation. The jump sequence initiated, pushing the damaged ship to its limits. The alien vessels pursued but kept a curious distance, as if uncertain how to handle prey that fought back. When they emerged near the Confederate outpost Athena 7, trailing atmosphere and debris, Sarah was already composing her report, but her mind was on that fragment of alien hull and the possibilities it represented. The aliens had meant to destroy them, to demonstrate their superiority. Instead, they had given humanity exactly what it needed, a key to their technology. As medical teams treated the wounded and repair crews swarmed the ship, Sarah met with Dr. Evans in what remained of the main lab. They stood before the alien hull fragment, watching it slowly shift and flow, trying to repair itself. "It's not just advanced technology," Evans said, his eyes wide with excitement. "It's a fundamental breakthrough in materials science. And more importantly," he pointed to patterns in the material's behavior, "I don't think they understand its full potential. They're using it like we use steel or titanium. But this could be so much more." Sarah smiled, despite the day's losses. The aliens had made a critical mistake. They had assumed humans would be easy prey, that damaging their ship would break their spirit. Instead, they had given humanity the tools for its own evolution. "Get me a secure line to Confederate Command," she ordered. "Tell them we need every materials scientist and AI specialist they can spare." She looked at the alien fragment one last time before leaving the lab. The aliens wanted to show us our place in the galaxy. Instead, they're about to learn what happens when you underestimate human ingenuity. The horizon might have been damaged, but they had won something far more valuable than a single battle. They had gained the key to humanity's future, and Sarah intended to make full use of it. Deep within the Athena 7 research complex, Dr. Maya Patel stared at the holographic model floating before her. The alien hull fragment rotated slowly in the display, its surface perpetually shifting like Mercury in zero gravity. 3 months of non-stop research had yielded incredible insights, but today felt different. Today, they were on the verge of something revolutionary. "Run the simulation again," she commanded the lab's AI system. "But this time, introduce our modified quantum interface at the molecular level." The simulation sparked to life, showing the interaction between human quantum computing systems and the alien material's molecular structure. Previous attempts had failed. The material either rejected the interface or became inert. But this time, something changed. "Dr. Patel," her assistant Kevin John called out, his fingers flying across his console. "The resonance patterns, they're stabilizing." Maya leaned forward, her heart racing. The quantum interface wasn't just connecting with the material, it was establishing a true symbiosis. The alien substance began responding to their commands with unprecedented precision, forming complex structures that even the original alien ships hadn't displayed. "Log everything," she ordered, already composing a message to Confederate Command in her mind. "And get me Captain Chen. She needs to see this." Sarah Chen arrived within the hour, still wearing her captain's uniform despite having spent the last 3 months coordinating the defense buildup. The attack on the horizon had awakened humanity to a harsh reality. They weren't alone, and they weren't safe. "Show me," Sarah said simply, her eyes fixed on the simulation. Maya gestured, and the holographic display expanded to fill the room. "The aliens were using this material like a hammer when it's really a quantum computer," she explained. "Their ships could adapt and repair themselves, yes, but they were only scratching the surface of what's possible." The display showed a small cube of the material morphing through various shapes, each transformation more complex than the last. "We've discovered that the material doesn't just respond to commands. It learns. When we introduced our quantum AI systems, it created a feedback loop. The AI learns from the material's responses, and the material adapts based on the AI's evolving understanding. And this is better than what their ships could do?" Sarah asked, watching the demonstration with intense focus. "It's not even in the same league," Kevin interjected, pulling up comparison data. "Their ships showed basic adaptive capabilities, reinforcing areas under attack, sealing breaches. What we're achieving here is true programmable matter. The material can reorganize its molecular structure in real time, creating new properties on demand. Maya nodded, pulling up another simulation. "Watch this," she said, initiating a weapons test scenario. The material instantly formed a complex crystalline structure that not only deflected the incoming energy beam, but absorbed and redirected it. The AI predicted the optimal defensive configuration based on the attack pattern, she explained. Each time we run the simulation, it gets better, developing new strategies we hadn't even considered. Sarah walked around the hologram, her military mind already seeing the possibilities. How soon could we implement this in actual ships? "That's the best part," Maya said, unable to hide her excitement. "We've cracked their manufacturing process. The material requires some rare elements, but nothing we can't mine from the asteroid belt. We can make as much as we need." She brought up the final simulation, a full-scale ship design. "But we're not just going to copy their technology," she continued. "We're going to revolutionize it. Each ship will be a learning system, sharing knowledge across a quantum-entangled network. The more they fight, the smarter they'll become. And the aliens won't expect any of this," Sarah added, a slight smile forming. "They'll be expecting us to either have conventional ships or poor copies of their technology." "Exactly," Maya confirmed. "Their mistake wasn't just attacking us. It was giving us access to technology they never fully understood themselves. We've already surpassed their level of implementation, and we're just getting started." The next few weeks saw the research complex transform into a hive of activity. Engineers and scientists from every human settlement arrived, each bringing new perspectives and ideas. The breakthrough had energized humanity's creative spirit, leading to innovations that went far beyond military applications. Maya's team discovered that the material could be programmed with baseline protocols that would remain active even without direct AI control. They developed hybrid systems that combined traditional human technology with the alien material, creating solutions that were more elegant and efficient than either approach alone. "It's like we've been given a new alphabet," Kevin remarked one evening, as they watched the first prototype hull plates being manufactured. The aliens knew how to write simple sentences, but were already composing poetry. Maya nodded, understanding the analogy. The aliens had developed this technology, but had used it in the most straightforward way possible. Humans, with their drive to push boundaries and think beyond the obvious, were finding applications that would have seemed like magic to the original creators. The first full-scale test came 6 weeks later. In a secure testing chamber, they had constructed a small spacecraft using the hybrid technology. As Confederate military leaders watched from behind protective barriers, Maya initiated the test sequence. The craft's hull rippled like water, transforming its shape to optimize for different flight conditions. When they fired weapons at it, the hull didn't just absorb the impacts, it learned from them, developing new defensive configurations with each hit. By the end of the test, they couldn't damage it at all. "The quantum AI network is exceeding all projections," Maya reported to the assembled leaders. "Each test teaches the system new strategies, which are then shared across all instances of the material. We're not just building better ships, we're creating an evolving defense network." As she finished her presentation, an alert sounded from a long-range scanning station. The aliens had been detected approaching the outer solar system, their fleet larger than before. Sarah Chen, who had been quietly watching the tests, stepped forward. "How long until we can have a combat-ready vessel?" Maya checked her calculations. "The first ship can be ready in 2 weeks. After that, we can produce one every few days. Each one will be more advanced than the last." Sarah nodded, her expression determined. "Then let's give them a proper welcome. They thought they were teaching us our place in the galaxy. Instead, they're about to learn what happens when you give humanity a puzzle to solve." As the warning signals continued to flash, Maya returned to her lab. The aliens were coming, confident in their superiority. What they would find instead was a humanity transformed, armed with technology they had gifted but never mastered. The real revolution was just beginning. The massive shipyard stretching across Mars' orbit hummed with unprecedented activity. Director James Rodriguez stood at the observation deck, watching robotic assemblers weave streams of the hybrid material into the framework of humanity's newest vessel. 6 months ago, this facility had been building conventional ships. Now it was creating something entirely new. Production efficiency is up another 12%, his assistant reported, scrolling through performance metrics. The AI network is optimizing our manufacturing processes faster than we can implement the improvements. James nodded, his eyes fixed on the ship taking shape before them. They had named it the Defiant, and it would be the first of its class. Warships that combined human ingenuity with technology the aliens never fully understood. How many does this make? This will be our 15th vessel. Luna shipyards have completed 10, and Venus Station reports their 8th will be ready ahead of schedule. The assistant paused, checking another report. The quantum network linking their AIs is already showing remarkable evolution in tactical thinking. Below them, the Defiant's hull rippled like liquid metal as the assemblers worked, its surface occasionally catching Mars' red light. Unlike traditional construction, these ships were essentially grown rather than built, the hybrid material guided by quantum AI to form optimal structures. Director Rodriguez, a technician called from her station. We're receiving a priority transmission from Deep Space Array 4. You need to see this. The holographic display showed a section of space near Saturn. Dozens of alien vessels had appeared, their formations suggesting a staging area for invasion. But something was different about these ships. Their hulls showed more aggressive configurations, clearly modified for war. "They've been studying us too," James murmured, learning from that first encounter. He activated his comlink. "Get me Admiral Chen." Sarah Chen's hologram appeared moments later. The former captain had been promoted to lead humanity's defense fleet, her experience with the initial alien encounter proving invaluable. "I'm seeing the data, James. They're not just sending a punitive expedition this time. This is a full invasion force. How long do we have?" "Based on their movement patterns, 2 weeks at most. They're being cautious, probably expecting to find us barely recovered from their first attack." Sarah's expression was grim but determined. "Are we ready?" James gestured, bringing up the status of their fleet. 33 ships completed, with 12 more under construction. Each vessel was more advanced than anything humanity had possessed before the alien attack, their hybrid hulls housing quantum AI systems that grew more sophisticated by the hour. "The ships are ready," he confirmed. "But there's something else you should see." He transmitted data from their latest tests. The quantum network linking the fleet. It's developing faster than we predicted. The ships aren't just sharing tactical data anymore. They're developing completely new strategies, predicting attack patterns before they happen. The display showed footage from their combat trials. A prototype vessel faced multiple automated attackers, its hull flowing like water to create optimal defensive configurations. But it wasn't just reacting, it was anticipating, transforming to counterattacks before they were launched. "It's beautiful," Sarah said softly, watching the demonstration. "They gave us this technology thinking it would break us. Instead, we've surpassed them." James finished. "Every ship we build is more advanced than the last. The quantum network learns from each engagement, each simulation. By the time they reach Mars orbit, our fleet will be generations ahead of their original technology." Their conversation was interrupted by another alert. The long-range sensors had detected more alien vessels arriving at their staging area. The invasion fleet was growing larger by the hour. "They're gathering quite a welcome party," Sarah observed, her voice calm despite the implications. "Have you completed the special modifications we discussed?" James smiled slightly, pulling up schematics for their latest innovation. "The stealth systems are ready. We found a way to manipulate the hybrid hull's quantum state to bend light and energy around the ships. They'll never see us coming." The achievement had been another example of human creativity surpassing alien implementation, where they had used the programmable matter for basic structural adaptation. Humanity had pushed it to its theoretical limits, discovering properties the original creators had never imagined. "Begin deploying the completed vessels to their staging positions," Sarah ordered, "but keep them in quantum stealth mode. Let's maintain the illusion that we're still struggling to recover." As the orders went out, James watched another section of the Defiant's hull come together. The assemblers had become more efficient with each ship they built, guided by AIs that never stopped learning. What had once taken months now required weeks, and soon it would be even faster. "You know what the most ironic part is," he said, turning back to Sarah's hologram. "If they had just approached us peacefully, we would have gladly shared knowledge, worked together. Their aggression didn't just give us the tools to defend ourselves. It pushed us to innovate in ways they never considered." Sarah nodded, her expression thoughtful. Humanity has always been at its best when challenged. They thought they were teaching us our place in the galaxy. Instead, they're about to learn what happens when you back humans into a corner. The shipyard's activity increased as news of the approaching invasion spread. Construction crews worked around the clock, each completed vessel immediately beginning integration with the quantum network. The aliens were coming with a fleet designed to crush what they thought would be a weakened, demoralized humanity. What they would find instead was something unprecedented. A defense force that evolved and adapted in real time, powered by technology they had gifted but never mastered. As James watched the Defiant's final systems come online, he couldn't help but smile. The real lesson was about to begin. Silent and invisible, the Defiant waited in the shadow of Titan. Admiral Sarah Chen stood on her bridge, watching the tactical display as the alien invasion fleet moved deeper into the solar system. Their confidence was evident in their formation, a traditional attack pattern with no attempt at subterfuge. "They still haven't detected us," Lieutenant Commander Maria Santos reported from her tactical station. The quantum stealth systems were performing beyond expectations, bending light and energy around their hull in ways that made them completely invisible to alien sensors. "All ships report ready," Maria continued. "The quantum network is processing combat scenarios at an unprecedented rate. The AIs are evolving." Sarah nodded, watching as the alien fleet approached their position. 40 ships of the line, each one bristling with weapons that had torn through conventional human vessels in their first encounter. But that was then. This was now. "Signal the fleet," she ordered quietly. "Execute Operation Revelation." Across the solar system, humanity's new ships emerged from their hiding places. The Defiant led the way, its hull flowing like liquid metal as it decloaked. Other vessels appeared near Jupiter's moons, Saturn's rings, and the asteroid belt. Each ship's quantum AI was already adapting, analyzing the alien fleet's formation and developing countermeasures. The alien response was immediate but predictable. Their fleet broke into pre-planned attack formations, energy weapons charging. They had come expecting to find a handful of conventional human ships, perhaps with crude copies of their technology. Instead, they found themselves surrounded. "They're broadcasting some kind of signal," Communications Officer David Kumar reported. I think they're demanding our surrender." Sarah allowed herself a small smile. "Let's show them our answer. All ships, execute attack pattern Theta." The human fleet moved with impossible grace, their hulls morphing to create optimal attack configurations. The quantum network coordinated their movements perfectly, each ship's AI contributing to a collective battle strategy that evolved in real time. The first alien shots passed harmlessly through space where human ships had been moments before. The Defiant's hull rippled, forming complex crystalline structures that caught incoming energy beams and redirected them back at their sources. Other human vessels demonstrated similarly advanced defensive capabilities, their hybrid technology responding to attacks in ways the aliens had never imagined. "Their tactical systems are trying to adapt," Maria reported, monitoring the battle data. "But they can't keep up. Our quantum network is predicting and countering their strategies before they can execute them. An alien cruiser, its weapons ineffective against the evolved human defenses, attempted to ram the Defiant. Sarah watched calmly as her ship's hull flowed like water, creating a quantum field that caught the alien vessel and held it in place. "Target their propulsion systems," she ordered. "Let's show them what their technology can really do." The Defiant's weapons were unlike anything seen before in space combat. Instead of conventional energy beams or projectiles, the ship created focused quantum distortions that simply bypassed the alien vessel's defenses. Their own hull material, recognized by the hybrid technology, offered no protection. Throughout the solar system, similar scenes played out. Human ships demonstrated capabilities that went far beyond simple adaptation and repair. Some vessels split into smaller units before reforming. Others created temporary quantum tunnels to outflank their opponents. Each successful tactic was instantly shared across the network, allowing the entire fleet to learn and evolve mid-battle. "Ma'am," Maria called out, her voice tight with excitement. "The quantum network is detecting signs of panic in their fleet. Their formation is breaking down." The alien ships were indeed losing cohesion, their pre-programmed tactics useless against an enemy that evolved faster than they could respond. Some vessels attempted to retreat, only to find their jump points predicted and blocked by human ships that seemed to appear out of nowhere. "They're broadcasting again," David reported. "Multiple frequencies, multiple formats. I think they're trying to surrender." Sarah straightened in her command chair. "Signal all ships to hold position but maintain combat readiness. Let's hear what they have to say." The alien message, when translated, was revealing. They had come expecting to find a primitive species barely able to copy their technology. Instead, they had encountered something unprecedented. A civilization that had taken their gift of advanced materials and transformed it into something they barely recognized. "They're asking how we did it," David said, continuing to translate the incoming signals. "They don't understand how we managed to improve their technology so quickly." "Send them our response," Sarah ordered. "Tell them that humanity has always excelled at learning from our challenges. Tell them that when they attacked us, they didn't just give us access to advanced technology. They gave us a reason to surpass it." As the message was transmitted, Sarah watched the alien fleet on her tactical display. Their ships hung motionless in space, their once fearsome weapons now proved obsolete by human innovation. The quantum network continued to evolve, each ship's AI developing new insights and capabilities even in this moment of victory. "Orders, Admiral?" Maria asked, her hands ready at her tactical station. Sarah considered the situation. This battle had proven humanity's superiority, but it was only the beginning. The aliens needed to understand that their mistake hadn't just been attacking Earth. It had been assuming that humans would be limited by the same constraints that had limited them. "Signal the fleet," she commanded. "It's time to show them exactly what humanity can do when challenged. It's time to show them the future they helped create." 1 year after the Battle of Titan, the observation deck of Athena 7 station hosted an unprecedented gathering. Admiral Sarah Chen stood before a delegation of alien representatives, not just from the species that had attacked Earth, but from a dozen other civilizations who had come to witness humanity's emergence onto the galactic stage. The station's quantum-enhanced hull rippled subtly, its surface occasionally catching the light from Earth below. Like all human structures now, it incorporated the hybrid technology that had transformed their civilization. But that technology had evolved far beyond its military origins. "Your attack on our exploration vessel was meant to teach us our place in the galaxy," Sarah addressed the assembled aliens, her voice firm but not unkind. "Instead, it taught us something far more important, that humanity's greatest strength has always been our ability to learn, adapt, and improve." Through the station's windows, they could see examples of that improvement everywhere. Ships moved through space with fluid grace, their quantum-enhanced hulls shifting to optimal configurations for each maneuver. Orbital platforms demonstrated even more exotic applications of the technology, some literally growing new structures as needed. When you gave us access to your programmable matter technology, Dr. Maya Patel continued, standing beside Sarah, you thought we would at best create crude copies of your ships. You never imagined we would see possibilities you had overlooked. The holographic display between them showed the progress of human innovation over the past year. What had started as military technology had blossomed into something far more profound. The quantum network that once coordinated warships now managed an ever-growing web of civilian applications. Your people used this material like advanced steel, James Rodriguez added, gesturing to a demonstration of their latest achievements. We saw it for what it really was, a bridge between thought and reality. The display showed medical facilities where quantum-enhanced materials created custom organs for transplant, agricultural domes that adapted their entire structure to optimize crop growth, and space habitats that could reconfigure themselves to meet any challenge. Each innovation built upon the last, the entire network learning and evolving together. The alien delegates watched in mixture of awe and concern as human ships performed maneuvers their own vessels could never attempt. Some shifted into multiple smaller craft before rejoining seamlessly. Others demonstrated their ability to create temporary quantum tunnels through space itself. But this isn't about proving our superiority, Sarah continued, her tone softening. This is about potential, about what we can achieve together if we approach each other as equals rather than conquerors. She nodded to Maya, who activated another display. This one showed plans for a new type of ship, one designed not for war, but for exploration and cooperation. Its quantum-enhanced systems were specifically created to interface with multiple species technology, allowing true collaboration. We call it the Bridge class, Maya explained, because that's what we want to build between our civilizations. Each ship will be staffed by mixed crews, combining different perspectives and approaches. The quantum network will learn from all of us, growing in ways none of us could achieve alone. The alien representatives stirred, their various communication methods expressing everything from cautious interest to explicit enthusiasm. The species that had originally attacked Earth seemed particularly affected, their leaders engaging in rapid internal discussion. You've surpassed us, their chief representative finally admitted, using the quantum network itself to translate their thoughts. In less than 2 years, you've taken our technology further than we did in centuries. We came to conquer, and instead, we found teachers. Sarah smiled, genuine warmth in her expression. Not teachers, partners. Every species here has something unique to contribute. Humanity's gift isn't that we're smarter or more advanced. It's that we never stop asking, what if? We never stop trying to improve, to push boundaries, to find new possibilities. As if to emphasize her point, the station's hull suddenly transformed, creating a new observation dome that offered a perfect view of Earth's sunrise. The quantum material moved with artistic grace, demonstrating that they had advanced beyond mere functionality to true mastery. This is our proposal, Sarah concluded, looking at each delegate in turn. Let's explore the galaxy together. Let's combine your experience with our innovation, your knowledge with our creativity. The quantum network has shown us that we're stronger together, that each new perspective adds something valuable to the whole. The response was immediate and overwhelmingly positive. Species that had watched humanity's rise with concern now saw an opportunity for mutual growth. The civilization that had once attacked them was among the first to pledge full cooperation. Their earlier aggression transformed into eager collaboration. As the delegates began discussing specific cooperation initiatives, Sarah moved to the edge of the newly formed observation dome. She placed her hand against its surface, feeling the subtle pulse of the quantum network that connected all of human space. The material responded to her touch, creating patterns that reflected her thoughtful mood. Thinking about how far we've come, Maya asked, joining her at the window. Sarah nodded, watching as a group of ships demonstrated a new formation nearby, their hulls flowing like liquid starlight. They thought they were showing us our limitations, she said quietly. Instead, they helped us break through them entirely. And now, Maya gestured to the animated discussions behind them, where former enemies were quickly becoming allies. Now we do what humanity has always done best, Sarah replied, smiling as Earth's light painted the station in shades of dawn. We keep pushing forward, keep asking questions, keep finding new possibilities. But this time, we do it together. The quantum network hummed with potential, carrying the combined knowledge and creativity of multiple civilizations. Humanity had not just survived its trial by fire. It had emerged transformed, ready to help lead the galaxy into a future no single species could have imagined alone. As the sun rose over Earth, casting its light across the assembled ships of a dozen worlds, that future was already beginning to take shape. The aliens had attacked humanity hoping to demonstrate their superiority. Instead, they had helped forge something entirely new, a civilization that combined the best of all worlds, forever evolving, forever advancing, forever asking, what next?